Cancer, what's going on, everybody? It's Ann from CancerMoonsTarot, and I'm coming at you with your December 2022 tarot reading. How are you? I hope you guys are well. And without a further ado, we're gonna go ahead and jump on into it, and we'll see what we got going on. Welcome on in, Cancer. Happy early Christmas for those of you that celebrate. Merry Christmas to all of you. And let's see what information we got in store for the Cancer. So, starting out here with the overall energy for Cancerians reading. What's going to be the overall energy showing up here for the month of December 2022? Starting out here with the Hangman. I've seen the Hangman come out for quite a bit of signs so far. I know it came out for one recently I did yesterday. So Hangman card showing up here for you. Definitely an energy here of possibly or potentially connecting with a Pisces, so you might have Pisces somewhere in your chart. Now, the Hangman showing up here for you, this is the vibe of feeling stuck. So there's something happening or manifesting currently in your life where you feel stuck, where you feel trapped. You're like, I just don't really know where to go at this moment in time, Cancer. So there's something happening where you don't know where to go, okay? As far as what I'm seeing here starting out in the beginning of your month. Taking a look here now into your current situation, we have here the Magician, we also have here the Page of Swords, and then we have here the Five of Pentacles. All right, so we're definitely getting a little deep here this month. Let's talk about it. Well, Magician card here could be the card of manifestation, it could be the card of showing up, it could be the card here of maybe what you feel like you've pulled into your own reality. So I don't know why I've never seen this with the Magician before, but I'm kind of getting a little bit of an energy, Cancer, of like self-blame in a way, because with the Page of Swords showing up over here, Page of Swords is kind of my card of like hesitancy, feeling nervous to speak up about something. Or it could be a card here of repression in a way too, where everything that you wish you could communicate, you don't even feel like you could get it off your chest because you kind of feel like you're stuck and you're trapped with your own thoughts, your own fears. So at this moment in time, Five of Pentacles, right, too, coming in here for you. You're very isolated from people jumping into December 2022. I don't feel like you're very communicative or very talkative about how you feel and about what it is you're experiencing. And I don't know why, like I was saying intuitively, I am kind of picking up on this energy a bit of like self-blame. Maybe you could be blaming yourself for the situation you're currently in, or kind of dragging yourself or talking down to yourself for being where you're at. And all the more that's making you continue to feel stuck. You know, maybe something happened in a relationship, and instead of, you know, looking at what happened in a way that's more grounded, you could be looking at it as it's all my fault. You know, the reason this relationship is no longer standing is because I'm not enough. X, Y, and Z. You could really be chewing at yourself right now. Maybe there's something that's happening that you wish to be successful, but unfortunately it's not taking a successful turn. And due to that, you know, and due to the spite that there's no success, you could be blaming yourself right now and really talking down to yourself here in the month of December. So I definitely feel a lot of blame coming in here for you. Let's go ahead and clarify. I want to clarify the Magician. Why do we got the Magician showing up here? Tell me about this self-blame that Cancer is enduring, jumping into December. We have here the Ace of Swords. We have here the Two of Swords. So this is what you choose to believe is true. Now, do remember, guys, right? At the end of the day, whatever it is we do choose to believe is true is what will reflect and be true within our reality. So at the end of the day, we are the story that we tell ourselves. We are the truth that we say is truth. So the more that we proclaim that something is a certain way, or this is what it is, the more that that's how it's going to be within our own reality. So Cancers, I feel for many of you here, you're basically in this mind space right now where it's like, the truth is I ruined a situation. The truth is I'm not good enough for someone or something. The truth is that I'm not going to be successful. And the more we keep honing in on this story that we're telling ourselves, the more that that's going to continue to be the reality that we're manifesting here with the Magician. Okay, so it's very important here, Cancer, to be very mindful that this is a type of manifestation that we don't want to dabble into. You never want to get into a space where you're manifesting against yourself, but instead, you always want to make sure that the story you're telling yourself is one that you would happily want to write, you know? So always make sure we switch up the story once we start seeing that we're putting it in a direction that we're not particularly happy with. All right, moving along here forward. Tell me about this isolation for Cancer. Why the Five of Pentacles? Why has Cancer been so isolated? Four of Cups. You haven't wanted to talk to anybody. You haven't been interested in talking to anybody, to be honest. Looks to me like you've kind of just been enjoying being on your own, kind of doing your own thing. You know, I just don't really feel like being around anybody. I don't feel like talking to anybody. I don't feel like explaining how I feel because other people aren't going to understand me. Been there, Cancer. I think it's a Cancerian trait because like we have such a good way of being able to understand others. But when it comes towards putting our own feelings and emotions into words, sometimes it can be very hard. You know, a lot of people will say Cancers are very emotional, but we're actually very good at being emotionally distant. Cancers are very good at being emotionally unavailable, even though a lot of people don't see it that way. They could see us as dramatic, over emotional, etc. And I think you're kind of in the space right now where it's like, I just don't feel like explaining how I feel. I'm stuck inside my head. I feel like I'm a failure. I feel like I ruined everything that I touched. It's like you got the negative Midas touch is how some of you might feel about yourselves. And ultimately, I don't know what to do, right? So I gave you guys the answer, of course, what to do already. And it's going to be one of those things that's going to require a lot of practice. What you need to do is you need to change your story. That's just the truth of the situation. There isn't anything else to it, right? The best thing you can do right now, Cancer, is literally change your story. You've written a story for yourself that unfortunately is going against you and it's not working for you. You know, your belief is your reality. Your perception is your reality. The way that you view your world and you write your story is exactly what you're going to experience back in this world. So if you can start to shift the story, you can start to see many, many differences. And I know that some of you might be asking, well, how do we shift the story, right? How do we change what is currently happening in our lives? Well, change your life as you view it. Instead of viewing yourself as, okay, I'm a failure and that's why my business isn't working out, start to view yourself as, I have opportunity right now in this business that I've started. And you know what? Granted, this business may not be as successful as I've originally intended. It does not mean that I do not have the capacity to make it more successful over time. Maybe this is something that takes more of a slow and steady pace. Maybe this is something that needs a little more longevity, and I need to continue to believe in myself in order to make this successful. We can change the way we view our situations like that. And I promise you, if you give yourself patience and you give yourself time and you keep on changing the way you're viewing situations in your life, you will start to see a difference when you're making positive views on the situations you're dealing with. You know, let's say you went through a breakup and you're at this point where you're blaming yourself. You know, I'm sure everybody has some sense of accountability in a relationship, but it's not entirely your fault. And if you start to take that weight off your chest, you might start to actually see some of the other things that your person did that maybe weren't so great too. So it's like, open up your eyes right now, Cancer, to the fact that all this negative energy you're channeling at yourself is what's ideally hurting you. And if you want to get out of the place of pain and suffering, Hangman, if you want to get out of that place of feeling stuck, it's going to be your duty to rewrite your story. All right. So positive reinforcement also, I talk about it all the time, especially with the Cancers. Positive reinforcement, very big thing you can bring into your life too. Essentially what that is just constantly being in your awareness. Every time that you become aware that you are doing something negative, saying something negative, or engaging in negative behavior, you can start to transmute that negativity into positive energy. For example, if you catch yourself saying I'm a failure, you can become aware that you caught yourself saying that, and then you can start to rewire your brain by saying, no, I'm not a failure. I'm actually a very, very successful person. Okay. So you could start to change the negative things you catch into positive things. And the more that we do that, the more we keep positively reinforcing things in our lives, the more we'll start to see a lot of positive change. Okay. All right, Cancer, moving along here forward. Let's see what'll be coming in here for you regarding December 2022. What's going to be coming in here for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus throughout their December. First card out, we do have the Ace of Pentacles. Opportunity at its finest is what I hear for you. We do have here the Hermit. And then lastly for you, we have here the Hierophant. Okay, Cancer. There is opportunity, more so there is room for opportunity this month, but it's going to have to require you committing to yourself and committing to pulling yourself out of the energy of the Hermit, okay? And the same thing with the energy of the Five of Pentacles. You've been in isolation, Cancer. You have to get out of your shell if you want to see opportunities start to flourish in your life. Essentially, it's more so not that there's opportunities coming towards you, but it's more about it's an opportune time to make what you want happen. There is a very powerful energy at the end of a year, especially getting ramped up for entering a new year as we move into January. So with that being said, Cancer, there's a powerful, powerful energy. It's a powerful time to really start making the changes in your life that you desire. So universe here is kind of saying to me, it's like, listen, if you decide to get out of your shell, if you decide to look at this time as a time of opportunity to start rewriting your story and to start becoming the person you want to be and to start saying, this is the life that I'm simply going to be living, then you can start to see the changes happen. Now, maybe some people don't believe in the way that I practice manifestation, the way that I practice law of attraction. And if so, that's okay. Like if it doesn't resonate with you, it doesn't resonate with you. But I'm a very firm believer that we literally shift realities constantly. I believe that depending on the story we tell ourselves is the reality we're shifting to, because I believe that every single outcome, every single kind of reality, every single kind of situation that we can imagine already exists simultaneously. So at the end of the day, all we do is we can shift to that situation, shift to that reality, just by simply aligning ourselves vibrationally. And how we would do so is we would do so by navigating, or more so saying, what our story is. So if I decide that I want to be a businessman and this is the life that I want to live, there's already a version of me in the world, all right, in a different reality that is a businessman. All I have to do is merge with that reality. How would I do so? I would start becoming what a businessman is. I would start to understand business and what kind of business I'm getting into. I would start to dress like a business person would, talk like a business person would. I would start to believe that this is who I am. And I would tell myself that story, and I would write exactly how I want the story to go. And with that being said, that's how it'll pan out. So keep that in mind here, Cancerian, okay? I know not a lot of people resonate with that, but as far as based off my experiences, that's the way that I've seen things, you know? All right, Cancer. So looking at what's coming in here for you, it's like, it's an opportune time to see change happen. It's a powerful time to see change happen, but it is going to require you having to get out of your shell. It's going to require you having to get out of your head coming into the month of December, and it's going to require you having to put in the work here to genuinely change your story. Stop telling yourself that same shitty old story that's gotten you nowhere. Start writing a story that's going to get you somewhere you really want to be, because you fucking deserve it, you know? All right, Cancer. Moving on forward, let's see what you can expect here throughout the rest of December 2022. What can my Cancerian peeps expect, please? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus throughout December 2022. First card out, we do have here the Temperance. Yeah, you can definitely expect for things to get better if you remain on this path. 10 of Cups, absolutely. And the Queen of Wands. Cancer, if you remain on the path where you genuinely say, okay, I'm ready to get on my shell. I'm ready to start changing my story. I'm ready to start becoming the person I want to be and believing that I can be that person. If that's the path you stay on here, jumping into December, you will start to become more emotionally balanced. You will start to become more fulfilled. You will start to become more confident and more empowered here with the Queen of Wands. The more that you start to align yourself with the person you want to be, and the more kindly you treat yourself, and the more respect that you give yourself, and the more value you give yourself, the more you will see such a positive shift in your life. Essentially, treating yourself like a king or queen really works to your benefit, because it allows you to love who you are. The thing that I love about Cancers, right, especially being a Cancer sun myself, is that we have the capacity to like love people unconditionally. And think about it this way: with all the love that you give people in your life, with all the love that you give your family, your romantic partners, your friends, with all the unconditional love that you can spread to people and that you can spread to the world, imagine what it would be like, and imagine how powerful you'd be if you've given that love back to yourself. Imagine how powerful you would be if you hyped up yourself like the way you hyped up other people. Imagine how powerful you would be, Cancer, if you believed in yourself like the way you believe in others. Start using that power and that gift you have to your benefit, and reinvest that into yourself here, jumping into December 2022, and things are going to skyrocket from there. Okay? All right, Cancerian. This reading actually was pretty short and sweet. I feel like there's just that main message for you. So I'm not going to keep on, going on and on and on, because I don't really feel like many more messages are coming. So let's take a look here at the outcome for you, okay? What's going to be the potential outcome for Cancer, depending upon if they stay on this current path throughout December 2022. And what do we got? We got here the High Priestess. Exactly. You'll be exactly where you need to be. But most importantly, with the High Priestess coming in here for you, you will connect with who it is you truly are. Now, that's a very interesting statement. Who you truly are. It's, to me, more so who you truly are is more of who you truly desire to be, because you can be anybody, right? So Cancer, who do you want to be in December 2022? In the new year of 2023, going forward from this very moment, who do you want to be? What do you want your story to be like? What do you want your life to be like? what kind of beautiful fantasy do you want to see become a reality? Because High Priestess, that's a card here of inner knowing. High Priestess, that's a card here that says you have the power within you. You have the ability to do it at any given moment in time. Your higher self knows this already, Cancer. So what kind of story would you like to create? And how do you want to see it play out? Now, what I would say for Cancers, what I would definitely recommend is like, I keep saying the story that you tell yourself, the story that you write, you can actually write it, believe it or not. That's one of the greatest manifestation techniques that I tend to do very, very often. Not as often as I used to, but it's one of those things where you get a piece of paper, you can write it in your phone notes, you can do anything. Just, write your story. Like today, what did you want to happen today? Well, today I woke up and I felt relatively great. I felt like I had such a restful sleep. I was incredibly happy about that. And then I had a wonderful breakfast. And then today I went to my job and I had an amazing day with my coworkers. I had an amazing day with my job. Maybe you work in sales. Throughout today, I sold over $3,000 in products. My boss was very happy with me. You can literally physically write out your story on a daily basis, if that's something you want to do. And if that's not something you want to do, but you want to write a story for more of like a long-term goal, you can physically write out that story for your long-term goal as well. But of course, the way that you'd want to write it is you would want to write it in the present moment. You wouldn't want to write it as it's not happening or as you want it to happen. Write it as it's already done, right? Anytime we write things in the present moment as if it's already happened, it's already done, then that's how you write a story. And that's how you manifest, because we manifest with the present, okay? So make sure you stay away from terms that kind of correlate to the past or that correlate to the future. Try to stay in the now if you want to practice that law of attraction technique, okay? But Cancer, with that being said, sorry if the reading, by the way, was a little repetitive. I know that this whole message was more about like, hey, you got to stop telling yourself a shitty story, Cancer, and your life will change. But my guides tend to be very repetitive sometimes when they really need a message to get across. So that's what came through here in today's reading. So I hope that you take that information and do with it what you will, but I hope you do something wonderful with it. I really do hope that it helps the Cancer out there who needs to hear it, because I can't tell you guys the amount of times I've been in a position like this where I've told myself the crappiest story, and it did me no good. And then I'd be so stuck inside my head trying to get out of this crappy story, not realizing that all I had to do was change what the story was about, All I had to do was stop believing the bullshit I was telling myself and recognize that I can change this at any given moment if I change my beliefs about my reality. I can change what I'm going through at any given moment if I start to change the story that I want to live and start to believe in that story instead, It's not necessarily an easy process, but it's a process that's possible. So I definitely hope this helps out any Cancers who needed to hear it. If it does, please do let me know down in the comments down below. If you're new here and you enjoy this channel and you enjoy the vibe, come on down and subscribe, baby. If you're new here, I'd appreciate it, and you're more than welcome to join the soul family over here. You can feel free to hit the notification bell as well to not miss when I upload or go live if you wish to be notified. And Cancer, with that being said, have a great rest of your December 2022, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Much love, Cancer, and have yourselves a good one. Peace.